Check, test, test, test. 1, 2, check, check. Test, test, test. Victoria Park. Check, check, check. We're good? Thanks. All right, soccer fans, let's welcome you into tonight's Match of the Week broadcast on League One. And we're coming in with the Women's Premier Division here tonight as we get you set for the opening kickoff between Prostars FC and Pickering FC Women. This should be a fantastic match. Both of these teams certainly hungry for points here tonight. And it'll be Prostars kicking us off here, working left to right across your screens, with Pickering in the all-black kits defending the goal to your broadcast right. This should be quite an interesting match. Starting goalkeepers for tonight's contest for Prostars, it's Kyra Dickinson between the sticks, and for Pickering, it's Nicole Paraskevopoulos. As Prostars kick us off and we're underway, a good ball played ahead, and Dana Rigole running onto it, but quickly that's knocked free of her possession. Prostars try to get it back as they're playing a 4-5-1 formation to start this match here today. Pickering going with a good ball ahead and running onto it. There is Pires. She picks up possession for Pickering, makes the move into the 18, takes a left-footed attempt. It was more of a cross than a shot, and it'll go out for a goal kick. As Pickering playing a 4-4-1-1 formation. Both of these teams with just... And check that. That was Brittany Lawrence with that chance there for Pickering on the run. And a fantastic run by Lawrence there. As we'll retake the goal kick. And both of these teams just one win through their opening matches so far as they trend towards the bottom of the Women's Premier Division table. But despite that, they both have good energy here to open up this match as Prostars work the ball out from the goal kick along the far flank, and Annika Arsenault takes possession, tries to play it up the line, and that'll travel out for a Pickering throw. Noreen picks it up to prepare for the throw-in. Looks for an option up the line as Lawrence takes possession. Back to Noreen. She plays a ball towards the middle, but that's handled nicely on the defensive effort there. I believe it was Kozmevsky stepping up to make that play. As now Pearson there with that 50-50 challenge. She did well to win the ball forward. But ultimately Pickering now trying to work possession back the other way. Defensively running onto it is Van der Laan, and she'll shield that out for the goal kick. Beautiful evening here at Victoria Park Stadium in Brampton. The heat today throughout the Greater Toronto area is certainly intense, but it's cooled down a little bit pitch side. And, of course, tonight's match on a natural grass pitch, so you don't get the heat radiating off the field like you do with some of those more modern turf rubber pitches. As Pickering win themselves a free kick here in the attacking side of half. So let's see what they can do from a set piece, a chance to play a ball into the 18 as a right-footed delivery played ahead, headed on, and both teams battling for it. Kicked away initially there by Ongarato, and now it's out. And it'll go for a throw-in tight to the corner there. But good defensive work by Prostars. Sultana preparing to receive from Ongarato as she delivers a good throw ahead. Sultana running onto it and now making another challenge. There's Rugole as it's off the Prostars player and out for a Pickering throw-in. Tossed in that time by Ovnichkova for Pickering, and now Prostars try to work it to the far flank, intended for Arsenal, but it's dealt defensively by Noreen as she goes back towards her keeper. And with the one-touch clearance, a good right-footed boot by Paraskevopoulos. As it's brought down by Andolina. Pickering working the ball well here through midfield. A challenge and maybe a change in possession as Prostars do wrestle it away. Nice job there by Celine Sultana. And Charlize Lewis in the fray as well. And there's Lewis once again challenging Roach, who takes it for Pickering. Her pass, though, off the mark. Now Sultana takes it. She plays it backwards. As a good job to keep it in along the line by Prostars, and it's off a Pickering player out to hold possession. And that was Ongarato making that play for Prostars as she prepares to take this throw-in. Tosses into the middle for Lewis. She takes the space in front of her. Ball ricochets, but it was played on as the keeper coming off her line to collect. We've got a player out there wearing number 40, and there's no number 40 on the game sheet here, so I believe that's Clark Jolie for Prostars. Oh yeah, I know. I don't deal with that aspect of it. It's being recorded.
Yeah, because it's supposed to. This is.
I know you have to go. You have to talk to the guy upstairs.
I can't get his attention.
I can't do anything more than do my job. I'm sorry. I wish I could help you. So excuse the interruption, folks, as we get possession here with Pickering. Played back by Storms into the middle, held by Curtin. Touches out wide, and now Pickering try work possession forward. Touched into the middle as Curtin plays it ahead. It's knocked down, and possession controlled here by Arsenault for Prostars. Good job to fight off the challenge that time from Andolina as she plays the ball ahead for Rugole to run onto it. But a little too much weight. Rugole actually did well to keep that in, but it'll end up in the hands of Paraskevopoulos as Pickering prepare to play it out. Through midfield, Curtin takes it for the visiting squad as Pickering move possession back to the keeper, who in turn goes to the center back, Storms. Leah Storms taking the space in front of her. Touches out to the wing as Anastasia Ovnichkova had it. It was turned away, and an easy save there for Paraskevopoulos. A loose ball played forward as Rugole tried to run onto it for possession. But it's controlled now by Pickering. They play it up the line. That's not going to stay in play. Turned over with a throw-in. Ongarato. Lewis plays into the middle for Pearson. Pressure on her back, but she does well to touch wide. Prostars with some promising possession here. A little bit of a hack on the back of Arsenault, nothing doing. Bouncing ball controlled by the header of Kozmevsky. Both teams swiping for possession. Pearson running over to it, and she'll see that one out. Pickering receiving a throw-in. Into the middle, controlled by Lawrence. Quickly touch back. There's a ball towards the 18, but that's knocked away by Kozmevsky. Headed on by Curtin as Prostars try to clear the pressure being provided here by Pickering, and Pearson does well to advance the ball up the pitch and ensure that Prostars are relieved of that midfield clog. Kicked away by Curtin. That'll go for a Prostars throw-in. As we're into the 9th minute of action here. Both of these teams, despite having some challenges in the table, well, certainly Prostars have the ability to put the ball in the back of the net. Pickering at times have struggled to create offense with just 4 goals scored this season, but Prostars in the double digits there at least. 10 goals this season, just under a goal per match. So this could be a bit of a neutral zone clogs type of game, so to speak, tonight. But in the same vein, very much a chess match type of grind it out, and whatever opportunities present, you try and make the most of them. And here go Prostars on the attacking side of half as Pearson plays it over to Lewis. They try work it to the near touchline and get some offense going as that's played by Ongarato, but possession turned over as Pickering tried clear, and now they have possession on the cough up. Lawrence feeding the ball ahead. Roach running onto it. She'll go into the penalty area, but Ongarato gets there defensively. She does well to touch to the line. That's going to stay in, however, as coming up to challenge for it was Ovnichkova. She plays the ball towards the 18, brought down for the volley attempt as it was a good idea that time by Andolina, but she couldn't quite execute cleanly. And in the end, a relatively easy save for Dickinson. As through midfield, possession exchanged and now knocked out for a Pickering throw-in. They play it up the line as Babbitt tries to take control there. Challenged on the first attempt, and on the second effort, it's initially cleared by, I believe that was Lewis making the attempt. Check, that was actually Vanderland. As now Lewis takes it. Turned over, and now Pickering have possession. A ball played up the line for Lawrence to try run onto, but there's Vanderland as she plays it back to the keeper, and Kyra Dickinson will slow things down. Dickinson with the right-footed ball ahead. Prostars do well to hold possession as Sultana played it back. Ongarato nearly coughed that up, but it's played up the line, and that'll roll out for another Pickering throw-in. Flicked on from the throw. Pearson steps up with the initial challenge, but Pickering hold possession as Babbitt plays a good ball forward, and Andolina tries to run onto it, but it's too much weight, and Dickinson will scoop it up and then quickly boot it out. Brought down there by Arsenault. She can't hold possession as Pires steps up to take it. Ricochets over to Roach. She plays a one-time ball, and that's good to run onto as Andolina trying to battle for possession. It's off the Pickering player and out for a goal kick. But some promising build-up there from Pickering. As Prostars played out from the goal kick. Dickinson over to Chumber. She plays ahead. Battle for it, and Pickering come away with it as it was taken off the foot of Arsenault. Babbitt. She'll win her team a throw-in, and Pickering have a throw-in in the maybe about 10 yards from corner area. So we'll see what they can create with this opportunity. A little bit of movement from Lawrence. She receives the throw, plays it back. Crossed into the penalty area, but on the volley, knocked away by Vanderland. And now Prostars will try win possession, but back defensively is Curtin. Pickering tried play ahead, but a couple of players on the wrong side of the offside line, so they won't challenge, and it'll be easily controlled by Dickinson as she'll scoop it up for Prostars. Good strong boot there from the keeper. That goes a good 25 yards inside the Pickering side of half, as now it's picked up by Sultana. She'll win her team a throw-in deep in the corner as well. And now a chance for Prostars to get something going offensively. They haven't had a real quality opportunity yet. A couple of balls played towards goal, but let's see what they do here. Knocked back to Sultana, but she's in the offside position and possession turned over. So ultimately, Prostars unable to take advantage of that throw-in in the corner kick region, and it's played out by Pickering from the goal kick. Short as Chirone plays forward. Not brought down that time by Curtin. Check that. That was Lawrence who came back to receive it. It was Lawrence and Babbitt, the two main attackers for Pickering. And right now it's Lawrence who has possession. She plays that one over to Ovnichkova, who in turn goes back to Storms. Looking for an option ahead, plays the left-footed ball forward. It's received by Pires. She goes into the middle as Curtin touches out wide, and this could be promising now. As Endolina plays that ball forward for Babbitt to run onto. Defensively there for the challenge was Kozmevsky, and it's out for a Pickering throw-in. 15th minute of action, still scoreless here in the first half of this League One Ontario Women's Premier Division match. Pickering will get another throw-in. As it's picked up by Curtin, she goes back to Noreen, who had tossed it in, and now it'll be Chumber who will take a throw-in for Prostars. She tosses forward. Arsenault goes back to Chumber. She's challenged, but wins that and plays the ball as it's picked up by Clark Jolie. She tries to turn on the player, is brought down, and wins herself a free kick. So Prostars play short from the free kick. Pearson goes back to the defender, and now it's played ahead. Headed on by the Pickering defender, and nearly an own goal as that took one bounce and then landed on top of the mesh. It went off the head of Ovnichkova, and Paraskevopoulos was caught off her line. She was scrambling back. And she did well to almost get there in time. It would have been close had that been on target if she would have been there. But fortunately for the Pickering keeper, out for a corner kick. Vanderland gets set to take the corner, setting up for an outswinger. Clark Jolie providing the pressure towards the keeper. It ricochets around. Kicked towards the low far post and cleared off the line on that defensive effort. I believe it was Curtin who was there. The keeper, Paraskevopoulos, in a position as well, but may have actually been Noreen there for the defensive clearance, and Pickering able to escape that pressure from the corner. As again, it just kind of pinballed around there for a moment. And luckily for the visiting squad, the subsequent attempts not causing damage. Prostars able to take possession back as Rugole takes a long-range effort, and that time Paraskevopoulos on her line and wasn't getting fooled as that went out for the goal kick. Played short from the goal kick as Chirone takes it forward, makes the pass, and Endolina starts to work the far flank. Controlled as Pickering look to play it more central, but they'll turn possession over. Quickly they get it back as Clark Jolie never really could range the loose ball in. And now Vanderland takes it for Prostars. She touches over to Chumber. They look for a quick touch as Pearson played it forward, but now Pickering with possession, stepping up. Nice challenge there by Ongarato as that ball ran onto by Vanderland. She goes back to her keeper who ricochets it off the back of Babbitt. And a tense moment there for Prostars, but now they get a solid clearance and pressure relieved as the ball tracks out for the throw-in at the half line. Ovnichkova tosses in. Controlled initially by Roach. She tries to turn and makes the pass forward. Ball ricochets around and it comes towards Lewis. She plays into the middle. Possession turned over to Curtin, stepping over it and now touching over to Noreen. Looking up the pitch, she tries to play a ball for Babbitt to run onto. Nice defensive work there by Vanderland, and Dickinson did well to come off her line and collect that for Prostars. Solid keeping so far from both goaltenders. They haven't really necessarily been tested to a extreme degree, but they've, outside of the one hiccup where Paraskevulopoulos nearly got caught off her line by a defensive header, both keepers have looked pretty solid so far through the opening 20 minutes of play. As Pearson tries to play that one forward. Battle for it, and Rugole nearly came away with it. Now it's played forward, and on a bit of a late whistle, possession will go to Prostars for the free kick. So a chance for Prostars to maybe play something in towards the penalty area. Instead, they go short and try to work possession inch by inch up the pitch. Switching to the near side, Lewis tracks down a loose ball with a player shadowing her back. Does well to touch over to Clark Jolie, but possession nearly turned over. Kozmevsky did well to step up and saw the player out on the far flank in Arsenault. Arsenault steps, crosses back into the middle. That's cleared away on the defensive effort by Ovnichkova. And now Pickering looking for a quick counterattack as it'll be whistled back for a foul on the ball played up the pitch. And a free kick now for Pickering, as I believe it was Babbitt who got impeded there. She tried to play it forward for Lawrence to run onto and ultimately took a whack for her efforts. But good officiating there to spot the foul after the delivery of the ball, and now a chance for Chirone to play something long. As she puts a good right-footed boot into it, headed on defensively, a loose ball scramble, and Babbitt comes away with it for Pickering. Tries to step around the player, good of trickery as she plays across in, but Lawrence was caught moving in the wrong direction, and that'll track out for a goal kick. So both teams starting to get in their groove a little bit more here, and little bit by little bit, good possession, creating quality opportunities. However, that'll be a sequence that Prostars will want to have back as they turn it over from the goal kick. And Pickering will get a throw-in and a chance to try build here as controlled by Brittany Lawrence. She plays that one back to Audrey Noreen. Controlled by Pickering. They didn't like what they saw, so they move it to the back four as Chirone plays over to Storms. And now she'll try work the near side of the pitch. Storms, taking the space in front of her, delivers a ball, but tracking out for the goal kick, intended for Roach to run onto, but the weight too heavy on that attempt. Dickinson, right-footed ball and gives it right away. Looking for a handball call, but it was ball to hand and play continuing on as Roach played it forward. Babbitt with that slide tackle attempt to try block the clearance, but Prostars get the throw in. Off the throw, one bounce, two bounce, and then it's kicked away by Ovnichkova. As Pickering try hold possession through the middle. Curtin back to Ovnichkova. Lawrence running back to get it. That one blocked by Pickering. Nice job, and now played forward, but just out of the range of Babbitt as Roach tried to give the service. And controlled by Kyra Dickinson, the Prostars keeper. She picks it up, boots it out. And Pickering will take possession here with Andolina picking it up. She tries to play it forward, but Kozmevsky there for the defensive stop. Up the line, and Arsenal can't quite keep it in. That goes for a Pickering throw. From the throw-in, controlled by Lawrence, she goes back to Nareen. Quick touches here, and it makes its way over to Leah Storms. Ovnichkova, challenged by her numerical counterpart. Nice job by Sultana, and now it's picked up by Lewis. She plays the ball forward. Rugole tries to get it back to the near side, but a bit of confusion here, and it'll go for a Pickering throw-in. So Ovnichkova gets set to toss in. Plays it up the line. Not much room for Roach to operate, but she does well to get it back to the defender. Lintern returns it to Roach, and now she's got room to move. Roach plays it forward. That ball picked off by the defensive foot of Vanderland, out for a Pickering throw. Tossed in from the throw, held here by Curtin. She gets it back to Roach, who in turn tries to play forward, but nothing doing that time. And Sultana tried to keep it in that time, and now Lawrence takes possession for Pickering. She does well to work through the challenge. As Pire tries to get it back to Lawrence, but picked off her foot by Clark Jolie. Her pass then intercepted by Pire as she steps up, tries to play one out to the far flank for Andolina to run onto, but shielded nicely on the defensive shoulder by Chumber, and that's possession to Prostars for the throw-in. Pearson, that one ricochets off of Curtin. Loose ball, controlled by Nareen. Pearson, who took that one from close range and may have taken it in the face. Looks like she's got a bit of a nosebleed. Hopefully nothing serious there as she gets some treatment. And it is a beautiful night here, but it's still a hot one, so I'm sure these teams will take advantage of the quick break, as even the match officials have gone off to get a quick drink. So with less than 20 minutes of match time remaining here in the first half, and right now the scoreline sitting at zeros, the teams will return to the pitch and will resume the action. And we'll see if both of these teams can continue to build on the quality chances they have created at times throughout this match, where Pickering have certainly had the bulk of quality possession and threatening opportunities played into the middle, certainly in terms of attempts on goal. But you could say that Prostars have actually had the more, I suppose, closer to going in chances, where you think about the corner kick they had, the defensive header that led to that corner kick, the miscue in both attempts, coming dangerously close to striking. But ultimately, we do remain scoreless so far, and now Pickering resume the action as they work it through the back line with Storms taking possession. She plays it over to Roach, cuts back into the middle, tries to make the pass, initially blocked by Clark Jolie, but held by Curtin, and now it's kicked forward by Chirone. Bouncing away from Chumber, but she'll track back defensively, shielded away from the body of Andolina, and win her team a throw-in. Andolina plays, check that, it was actually Chumber who played into Arsenal, as Rugole tries to win that aerial challenge, and it will be brought down here by Arsenal, and she's got some room to run. A defender challenges her. She cuts away from the tackle and plays it into the middle for Clark Jolie. Switching now to the near side as Vanderland able to hold possession. Touch forward by Ungarato and kicked away by Ovnichkova. Pearson on the sideline for the time being getting treatment, and as a result, Caleri brought into the match. Check that, excuse me. as we get a foul called there. And a free kick coming up here for Pickering. And Prostars might actually be playing short the player here. Let me do a quick count. Yeah, they are actually playing short for the time being. So with Pearson getting treatment, they're hoping to get her back into this match ASAP, as now Pickering have themselves a free kick. Ball played in with the right-footed attempt. Vanderland gets there defensively. Slide tackle attempt, held it in the box for a moment, but then cleared ahead. And now Rugole takes it for Prostars. She's the lone attacker, but she's got speed and she's got pace. And now she's using both to her advantage as she plays that off of Storms and out for a corner kick. So a nice counterattack opportunity generated there by the speed of Dana Rugole. And Prostars with their second corner kick of the half. Ongarato gets set to take the corner. She plays it short to Lewis. Player on her back in Lawrence. Into the middle. As that volley attempt trying to flick on was Clark Jolie. It was played in from the foot of Chumber, but ultimately easy work for the Pickering keeper, Paraskevopoulos. Paraskevopoulos puts a good right foot into the ball, and it's brought down by Lewis as Clark Jolie touches out to the far line. Arsenault tries to hold possession. Turned over as Curtin takes it for Pickering. Clark Jolie wrestling to get it back for Prostars. Does well to work her way up from the grass. I was about to say turf, but it is natural grass here. And now Clark Jolie tripping over the ball, taking a hard fall, and hopefully nothing serious there, as I'm sure she felt the ground on that one. Pickering tried to take advantage on the turnover of possession, but ultimately just out for a throw-in. 31st minute of action as Pickering played into Alexis Curtin. She's got time to turn, plays a right-footed volley right on goal, and Kyra Dickinson had to be sure with that one, as it kind of hung up in the air probably a little bit longer than she was expecting, but still did well to make that save. In case you're wondering, a little bit of a wind at field level. Not too strong of a breeze, but a little bit, and it is kind of swirling at times, so the keepers do have to be mindful that a ball like that can get hung up in the air or can all of a sudden dip or be pushed on you. So Dickinson did well to make probably a more challenging save look fairly routine. Pickering can't quite hold possession from the throw-in as Rugole tries to battle for it. Clark Jolie takes it. Sultana making the run up the line, but the ball tracks out of bounds and possession turned over for a throw-in. Ovnichkova, Lawrence, picked up now by Vanderland. Lawrence tries to wrestle it back. Pires steps up and plays it ahead for Babbitt. Babbitt, a bit of a misstep, tries to win it back from Kozmevsky. And now Chumber plays it up the far touchline. Pearson still holding the cloth to her nose, so maybe a nosebleed that they just can't get to stop right now. But hopefully nothing serious, and hopefully Leah Pearson able to get back into this game sooner than later for Prostars, as they do continue to play a player down for the duration that Pearson stays, at least until they make a change. As that's played forward, but possession turned over, and Pickering trying to maybe take advantage of the, advantage in numbers. Let's see if they can. Pire, she's got room to run, touches over to Curtin. Curtin looking towards the penalty area, plays ahead for Babbitt, tries to run onto this, crosses in, and there's a touch off the side of the goal. Great chance that time for Hannah Roach, but she had a player all over her defensively. Excellent work on the defensive coverage that time by Sarah Vanderland, as she did well to shadow Roach and not commit a foul there. But Hannah Roach drilling that and putting it off the side meshing, coming oh so close in the 33rd minute. The ball finds its way back to Roach. She plays that one intended for Lawrence, but it's picked up by Prostars now, as they'll give possession right back to Pickering. Babbitt, she made that low cross, and now she tries to burn the defender. Brought down, and that's a penalty kick awarded to Pickering. No question there, as Babbitt had the player beat, and then you could see the Prostars defender reach to grab her back. And a well-called penalty there, and a chance now for Pickering to make a statement after having some good pressure leading to this chance. Holly Babbitt, the player, brought down, but it looks like it'll be Brittany Lawrence stepping to the spot. A little bit of discussion between the two. Again, those are the two main strikers for Pickering. Somewhat interchangeable. But it will be Brittany Lawrence at the spot against Kyra Dickinson. 35th minute of play. Lawrence setting up for a short run up here. Lawrence, right-footed strike. Big save by Dickinson! Kyra Dickinson guesses right. Or she may have read it from her vantage point and realized the body language was going that way the whole time. But Dickinson moved first, and in the end, she made the big save to keep this scoreless, as Pickering unable to convert from the penalty kick. Tough break there for Pickering. No doubt it was a good penalty awarded, as Babbitt hauled down in the area. But Kyra Dickinson bailing her defender out with a big save on the penalty kick. Nice 1-2 as Roach tries to run back onto it. Ball into the middle. Pierre does well to shield it. And now she's got room to run. She makes the play, touching it over to Andolina. What a tackle that time. Big step up defensive stop by Chumber as she takes possession away. And now Prostars look for a counterattack as Rugoles starts to run onto it. Controls with her left, shielding here as she's got Chirone on her back. Chirone with a bit of a slide tackle. Able to get away with one potentially, but now it's controlled by Prostars as it's chipped into the middle, but possession will be turned over. And now Roach plays ahead for Lawrence. Lawrence, once she was stopped from the penalty kick, she was just kind of trying to shrug it off like it was no big deal. Like, whatever, I'll get my goal at some point. But in the end, the keeper gets the best. Now we get the substitution that we were wondering if it would come at some point. Leah Pearson has been taken out of the match.
Prostar FC substitution in the 36th minute.
And it'll be Emily Tirabassi coming in.
Enters the match. Exiting the match is number 6, Leah Pearson.
Well, tough break there for Pearson. I had so much great background info on her. Her dad was a teacher at my high school, and actually, oddly enough, the last time I was at one of her matches, she sustained a very serious injury. So certainly hoping that the knock she picked up here tonight is nothing like what she had to go through last time. She worked her way back from a very serious recovery. I think it was a blown ACL. It was pretty serious, so when I saw her on the roster tonight and in the starting 11, I thought that's amazing. Good for her for not only getting back, but to this level of the League One Ontario Women's Premier Division, and to have a starting role in one of the 20 squads in this league is certainly no small feat. So, again, hopefully a speedy recovery for Pearson, who has been subbed out, and Tirabassi brought in her place. Ovnichkova plays that ball towards the 18, knocked away. A second attempt, it goes off of Roach. And then the third effort by Pierre will easily be controlled by the keeper, Dickinson. So far the play of this match coming only a few minutes ago when Pickering were denied from the penalty spot, and Kyra Dickinson right now winning the battle of the goalkeepers in this one after making a phenomenal save from the penalty kick. Sia Chumber gets set to toss this one in. Headed down, Lawrence tries to win possession. Prostars knock it back. Tirabassi running towards it, and she gets her first touch of the ball, and she plays it over to Ongarato. Headed that time by Pire. Ongarato stepping up. Clark Jolie, nice touch into the middle as Kozmevsky tried to pick out the runner, but ultimately too heavy and controlled by the Pickering keeper, Paraskevopoulos. Paraskevopoulos, good strong boot. Well across the half line, good 20 yards across. Both of these keepers showing good power from the drop kick. As Babbitt does well to dribble her way through a crowd and on the last ditch effort couldn't quite hold possession. Controlled now by Prostars is a good ball from Arsenault, played up the line for Rugole. She tries to beat Cherone, cuts into the middle to try gain a bit of space. Gets pinballed around, but does well to hold possession, and it's controlled now by Arsenault. Could have been a foul call there, but I guess advantage played on. And now possession turned over as Pickering looking for a counterattack led by Andolina. Her pass picked off by Chumber and now controlled by Arsenault. Controlled here by Vanderland. As she looks for a runner, but that's picked off by Ovnichkova, and it'll make its way back towards Dickinson. So 40th minute of action as we approach the halfway break. A nice possession carry there by Ongarato as she did well to work it up the flank. From the flank into the middle as now Lewis tries to chip ahead for Rugole. Touched intended. Dummied. Picked up. Sultana with a good shot. Big save. And the rebound cleared out for a corner kick. But oh no, check that. It's going to be signaled a goal kick. Tough break there. It certainly looked like it was going for a corner, as you can even see Pickering still a little bit stunned by that. They were set up for a defensive coverage on the corner, but Paraskevopoulos with the big save and then earning her team a goal kick thereafter. So both teams now creating really quality chances here in the first half. Prostars certainly seeming to build more of their opportunities off counterattack plays, whereas Pickering have kind of had sustained pressure more, so a little bit of, I wouldn't say wave after wave, but good continued pressure. That's certainly what led to that penalty kick opportunity. It was maybe about 3 subsequent chances that led to the sequence where Babbitt was pulled down. And as dangerous as Pickering have been at times, well, Prostars have been equally dangerous on the counterattack. Just both of these teams looking for that clinical finish here to get the opening goal, as we get a bit of a physical exchange there. And Holly Babbitt gets called for the foul. She, again, remember, she was the player hauled down in the penalty area to earn the PK. And she's kind of been hacked a couple of times, so she's decided, well, I've had enough. I'm going to stand my own and hold my ground. As Paraskevopoulos comes off her line to collect, and she wants to slow things down here for Pickering. Paraskevopoulos, good, strong boot. Lewis gets to it for Prostars. Roach touching it forward. Lawrence tries to pick it off, but Prostars able to battle through, and they hold possession with Lewis. She touches back to Ongarato. Secured as they work it over to Lewis. Sultana was checking towards her. The ball played long, so she'll try chase after it, but Leah Storms will take it for Pickering. Plays it short to Anastasia Ovnichkova as she has her pass picked off, and Clark Jolie now plays a right-footed cross in towards Rugole. Steps away from the first challenge, but then the ball ricochets loose, and it'll be picked up by Andolina as she looks to turn and burn now for Pickering. Andolina working that far flank, touches forward. Babbitt trying to run onto it. She puts a bit of a push onto the back of the defender, and Chumber was hardly bothered by it as Babbitt went flying, and Chumber retrieved the ball. "44th minute of action here as Pickering toss it in. Andolina it's played short. Excuse me, now it's Andolina. It was Nareen who played it to her. Andolina left-footed strike, and that one tracks wide of the goal, out for a goal kick. So still awaiting that opening goal of this match. We thought we may have had it back, 10, 12 minutes ago when Pickering were awarded a penalty kick, but that woman right there with the goal kick, Kyra Dickinson, with the play of the match so far with the save from the spot. Lawrence, she took that penalty. She controls the ball now for Pickering. Plays short, forward for Curtin, steps around the defender. Curtin trying to regain possession, poked loose, and now she plays it over to Andolina. Andolina trying to step past Chumber. They go towards the corner. Excellent defensive work by Chumber, and that's knocked out for a corner kick. We await the indication from the fourth official for how much added time we'll get here as Pickering set up for the corner kick, and it's looking like an outswinger, as I believe it's Babbitt who's tracked over to take it. Good right-footed ball to the far post, headed on, but it's actually headed backwards by Roach. Lawrence touches over to Roach, danger still present. She crosses into the area, knocked loose as Clark Jolie touches wide, and now Prostars looking for a potential counterattack. Rugole. So there you go, at least 2 minutes of added time here as Ongarotto plays it back to her keeper. Dickinson goes back to Ongarotto. She nearly has her foot picked a possession, but it's played ahead, and then the two 18s go at it with Ovnichkova winning that battle. Chirone brings that one down. Andolina, nice job to juggle it in midair to secure possession, and now Storms has it with room to take it forward. Storms takes the space, plays a good ball for Roach to run onto. This could be threatening. Nice defensive tackle that time by Sarah Vanderland, as she's been the anchor on that back line for Prostars today. So corner kick coming up here for Pickering. A short option presents, and they use it as it's picked up by Roach. She crosses in, headed away, only as far as Lawrence, who volleys it back in. And by volley, I mean heads it back in. But possession ultimately secured now by Tirabassi for Prostars as she plays the ball forward, but it'll be tough for Rugole to make anything out of this as Chirone goes back to the keeper, and Paraskevopoulos will clear the danger. Pickering able to pick up possession through the midfield with Curtin. Controlled now by Lawrence. Touches forward. Babbitt, she's got a chance to run onto this. Battling there, and a good defensive effort by Vanderland as she once again clears the danger. And that'll do it for the half as we get the whistle. And at the halftime break, it's 0-0 in this League One Ontario's women's game between Prostars FC and Pickering FC. Second half coming up next. All right, soccer fans, let's welcome you back into Victoria Park Stadium in Brampton, Ontario, as the sun is set and we begin to kick off the second half of action in a scoreless match right now between Pickering FC and Prostars FC in the League One Ontario Women's Premier Division. Even though we begin this half scoreless, a couple of quality opportunities for both squads in the opening 45, including most notably a penalty kick awarded to Pickering when Brittany Lawrence stepped to the spot, but Kyra Dickinson making a tremendous save, ensuring this game remains scoreless. And we begin the second half of action with Pickering kicking us off, working left to right across your screen in the all-black kits, and Prostars in the blue and red, and they've got possession now as it's controlled by Tirabassi. Into the middle. Lewis touches to the near touchline, but Sultana unable to keep that in, and it'll go for a Pickering throw-in. Sultana steps up, gets a foot to it, and now a chance for Rugole to turn with it.
Substitution in the 46th minute.
As it looks like Prostars have made a change.
Mackenzie Moore enters the match. Exiting the match is...
Good cross in there to the near post. Near chance, but Paraskevopoulos making the save. I believe it was Kozmevsky who was taken out for Prostars.
Another substitution for Prostars. Number 17.
As they've made a couple of changes here, apparently. Looks like Vieira has been
Brienne Vieira.
brought into the match. Pickering moving ahead here. Good ball played ahead for Andolina. Check that. That's... Well, it looks like Pickering have made a change as well, as Brienne Lee has come into the game here, and that was Lee up front for that chance. It may have been Andolina that has come out, as Pickering have made a couple of changes actually. McDonald also into the match, as they've won themselves a throw-in here around the attacking third of the pitch. So let's see what Pickering can manage. Ball played forward. Lawrence plays it back to the throw-in taker, and it's immediately volleyed away by Vanderland. As Vieira, one of the players into the match for Prostars. Tirabassi tracking back to it now. And Prostars have themselves a throw-in here. Clark Jolie headed away there by Lee.
46th minute.
As it's controlled by Tirabassi, and she wins her team throw-in.
Exiting the match is number 14, Juliana Andolina.
So Andolina confirmed as taken out in place of Lee. As Pickering win themselves the throw-in. It's played ahead and immediately knocked out of play there by Vieira. Crossed into the box, running onto it, but Dickinson off her line and calmly collects that one. Sultana takes it ahead now.
Serena McDonald enters the match.
Sultana looking to burn up the flank as Noreen does a good job to shield her challenge, and it'll be a free kick to Pickering. So Ovnichkova taken out of the match, and McDonald takes her place. So it looks like a couple of substitutions for both squads to kick off the second half of play. And we're a little less than 5 minutes played here in the second half, and both teams trying to find the pace that they ended the first half with, as Babbitt crosses one in towards the goal area, but it's calmly collected once again by Dickinson. Kyra Dickinson looking for an option up the field. Not a ton of movement, but she plays a good ball ahead, and Lewis tries to flick on. Initially blocked down as Chirone had it. It now ricochets its way back to Storms. With Roach there as an option, but she goes back to the keeper, Paraskevopoulos. Nareen looking for an option. Plays it forward. Babbitt flicks on, but that'll be a little too heavy for McDonald to catch, and it's out for a Prostars throw-in. As Chumber gets set to take the throw for the home squad. Sultana can't get to it first. McDonald was there. Now Sultana plays ahead. As Rugole tries to win the battle, but it's Storms who comes away with it. There's a good ball for a player to run onto, and it's going to be McDonald who tracks it. It'll actually be Babbitt who gets her foot on the ball, and that one out for a goal kick, as it was somewhat tracking towards the back post, but a good effort there by Holly Babbitt. Mackenzie Moore was the other player who came into the match for Prostars, as she takes up a attacking midfield role. And now Moore trying to run on to the ball, but it'll actually be Sultana who makes the challenge there against McDonald. Curtin, with Sultana on her back, touches out wide. They quickly reverse it again to the near side. A chance for Noreen to try hold it, and she does well to catch up to that ball. And now she's got room to make a threatening play here. She takes on Chumber, but the strong defensive play by the Prostars left back, knocking it out for the throw-in. So Audrey Noreen tosses to Babbitt from the throw, and it'll be knocked out by Chumber, but this time for a corner kick. So we'll see what Pickering can do with this set piece opportunity from the corner. They had a couple of decent corners in the first half. It looks like Babbitt setting up for an outswinger here with players piled towards the far post right now. 4 players at the top of the box. They start to make their run. Ball played in. Headed on and in the back of the net. That's a beauty. What a goal. From the corner, executed perfectly as Serena McDonald heads it home. The corner from Babbitt with all the action towards the back post. It was the lone near post option that went fairly unmarked defensively, and McDonald with a powerful header knocking it home. What a corner, what a goal, and Pickering have the lead in the 54th minute of action. Well, it's your broadcast match of the week, and that could be the goal of the week potentially, as that corner kick was executed to perfection. And a nice play there by Pickering's keeper, Paraskevopoulos, to come off her line and collect that loose ball. But again, just a electric header that time, as Pickering slotted home from the corner and take the 1-0 lead. Babbitt with the cross, McDonald with the header. And I guess you could say I'm loving it, because Serena McDonald heads it home. Pickering, good ball ahead. Babbitt running onto it. She's got Lawrence making a track in towards the box. Crossed as McDonald in the vicinity as well, but that time Dickinson able to pick off the cross, and quickly Prostars trying to counter. No chance there for Dickinson on that goal, as it was a close range header, but the ball far out enough that she couldn't really come off her line to try pick off the cross. There's a good attempt coming off the foot of Charlize Lewis, but it goes off the near side of the net and out for a goal kick. From the goal kick, it's played short and controlled now by Noreen. As she tries to burn past Lewis. Nothing doing, and she goes back to the keeper. As Paraskevopoulos challenged here by Rugole, and that was a close call as Prostars try to keep the pressure on. Sultana volleys that one back as Moore flicks forward. But possession turned over. Sultana hauling the defender down. As Noreen maybe falling a little bit easily, but certainly enough contact to win the foul even if she hadn't gone down. And a free kick here for Pickering. Good ball played forward, but headed away by the defensive effort of Vanderland. As it's controlled now by Lewis. She tries to play into the middle. Rugole couldn't quite get a foot to it, and then it's cleared on the effort from the Pickering backline. Noreen Chumber heads it. It's out for a Pickering throw-in. So Noreen looking for an option from the throw, plays ahead for Babbitt, tries to knock it off Chumber and does well to win another throw-in for Pickering. Noreen. Babbitt bringing it down from the throw-in, tries to play forward, tight to the goal line and wins her team a corner kick. And remember, Babbitt and McDonald connected on the last corner attempt for Pickering, which opened the scoring in this one. Let's see what Babbitt can do with this corner as the skilled forward for Pickering maybe feeling a little bit gassed at this point. She's played a tough match. It's been physical, it's been fast-paced, and she has performed exceedingly well. As Babbitt sets up for another outswinger. This time delivering it further as it kind of evaded a few Pickering heads and ultimately untouched out for a throw-in to Prostars. Tirabassi. Check that. Now that's Tirabassi as she received the throw from Vieira. Battle through the midfield for the ball as a handball called, and it'll be a free kick for Pickering. They wanted to play quick, but no dice, so we'll reset, and Roach gets set to take the free kick. Tight defensive line to try hold Pickering outside the attacking third. The ball played forward, headed on by Lee. She tries to run onto it, but Tirabassi shields it out, and it'll be a goal kick. Dickinson playing it short to Vanderland. As she takes the space in front of her, dribbling the ball ahead, now touching it for Sultana. Working the flank. Nice job by McDonald to get the tackle in, and Sultana wins the throw-in for her team. She'll opt to leave it, and Chumber gets set to take the toss. As Chumber gets caught with the encroachment, and now she tosses in. McDonald touches in for Curtin. She's got an option presenting wide, and she plays it ahead now for Lee, who quickly ricochets it back to Curtin. Controlled by Roach. Tries to step around the challenge. Good ball for Babbitt to run onto, but she's offside, and really ultimately wouldn't have mattered as Dickinson was off her line ready to collect that through ball. So Tirabassi takes the free kick. Possession turned over. And now McDonald has it for Pickering. Good job to fight off the challenge. Now she's got room to carry. Plays it ahead for Lawrence. Tries to lay that one off for Pire, but nothing doing. And now Prostars have it out through midfield. Rugole fought through an arm through the face, but ultimately, moments after, possession lost. And now a loose ball tracking over to the Pickering bench where they take possession. As Lee, trying to work away from the defender, plays into the middle for Curtin. She goes back to the back line where Chirone plays it back to Curtin. Storms. She fires one forward as Tirabassi gets a leg to it and knocks it loose. And now a attempt there from Arsenault gets knocked down. 61st minute of action as Pickering leading 1-0. Nice job by Moore to fight through the challenge. Nearly came away with possession. Prostars still battling for it as Dana Rugole tracks back, and now it's controlled by Clark Jolie. Clark Jolie looking for an option into the box. Tries to burn past the defender in Roach. Cuts around her. Still has it at her feet. Plays it in. Flicked on and off the side meshing. Out for a corner kick as I believe Paraskevopoulos got her hands to it to parry it out. And a good chance that time for Prostars, all created from the sequence led by Gia Clark Jolie. So Vieira prepares to take the corner for Prostars as she sets up for an outswinger. Short option, checks two, but just as quickly, Tirabassi steps away. Good cross from the corner, but challenged defensively. Falls to Tirabassi, and she buries it on the volley. What a beautiful goal! 62nd minute. Prostars tie this match at 1. Emily Tirabassi coming in as a substitute and making a big impact with the equalizer. As we're all square, 1-1. The home crowd loving it.
Prostars FC goal scored in the 62nd.
As Tirabassi
Number 21, Emily Tirabassi.
finishes it off, and both teams generating goals from corner kick opportunities. Pickering with a cross and a header. Prostars not quite as direct. The ball ricocheting a little bit around prior to it getting to Tirabassi, but once it got to her foot, there was no question as she crushed that one past the diving keeper, Paraskevopoulos. And Tirabassi with the equalizer in the 62nd minute, and now Prostars trying to push, but Pickering taking possession. As the keeper, Rugole challenging, and Paraskevopoulos delivering the ball out to Noreen. But she's challenged by two Prostars players, and it's Sultana who came away with it. Her cross didn't quite have enough on it, and it's intercepted. And now Babbitt takes it for Pickering as she plays that off of Chumber and out for a Pickering throw-in. Noreen. Flicked on by McDonald. Controlled by Vanderlaar. She plays a good ball forward. Rugole takes a bit of a push in the back, but controls possession for Prostars. As Arsenault trying to step into it. Clark Jolie touching it back now for the goal scorer, Tirabassi. As she lays that one over to Vanderland. Vanderland ahead for Clark Jolie. Beautiful night here as the sun has set and the temperature cooling down. And hardly any bugs, so you gotta love those conditions. As we get a foul after the play, and a free kick will come to Pickering. The wind does seem to be picking up a little bit as the flags down by the scoreboard starting to rip a little bit more. Sultana, she plays that ahead and immediately knocked down by Chirone. Sultana tries to service to Rugole. Nice job by Lewis to take it down. She tries to cross that wide, but Storms there with the initial block. Prostars able to keep possession. Moore touching that over to the far flank where Arsenault plays it even further wide. Clark Jolie tries to hold possession. Does well to challenge the clearance, and it's off the Prostars player and out for a Pickering throw. 65th minute. Both teams striking here in the second half. The score 1-1. With a little more than 25 minutes of action remaining here in the half. Pickering playing the ball forward, but no one there in black to run onto it. And Sia Chumber will have time to track this down with just one player challenging her. Sultana, good high volley, rainbows the defensive challenge, tries to get around Noreen, but loses the handle, and now Pire takes it ahead for Pickering. Good ball as they try pick McDonald. She flicks it down from midair. Spinorama to get around the defender. Tries to play it in for Babbitt. Loose ball. Lawrence running onto it. Danger present here, but it's poked loose away from Lawrence. She tracks back, but it's off the Pickering striker and out for a Prostars throw. Well, that was one heck of an athletic play by Pickering's goal scorer, Serena McDonald, who kind of picked it out of midair, did a spinorama to try beat the defender, and then did well to cross it through. She's had herself a tremendous half since coming into this game in the 46th minute as a halftime substitute. But here's an equally skilled player in Rugole as she picks the ball away, but her through ball too heavy and into the hands of the Pickering keeper, Paraskevopoulos. Volleyed out. McDonald tries to bring it down. Babbitt with the challenge. It ricochets to Curtin. Lawrence tried to head it on, but it'll find its way to the Prostars keeper as Dickinson tracks to the edge of her box to take possession. A quartet of Pickering substitutes off the bench starting to warm up. So we'll see if they opt to make some changes here with less than 25 minutes remaining. Loose ball. Lee tries to track it in along the far touchline. Does well to hold it. And now a chance for Pickering to turn. Lawrence trying to play forward. It's initially blocked. Second effort. Makes a through ball right to the foot of McDonald. Challenged by two defenders. Lays it back. Curtin's shot. Too much of a touch on that one as it's curling over the bar and out for a goal kick. Nice build up there from Pickering. But ultimately, with that kind of build-up, you'd hope to test the keeper with the shot on target. Just got to get over top that shot a little bit more. Nice idea, though, off the foot of Curtin. Lawrence tries to get it back. Touches ahead for Lee. Can she keep it in play? Yes, she does. Peels back. Crosses to the near post. And Dickinson not taking any chances. She was ultimately hugging the post to ensure that didn't sneak by her. And now Prostars looking for a quick counter opportunity as Lewis played it back to Sultana. Sultana fights off the first challenge, and she thought she had won a throw-in for Prostars, but it'll go to Pickering. And that gets a few boos from the home crowd. It's been an interesting night, let's say that. As Sultana tries to play it forward. Nothing doing that time as Pickering now have possession. Across midfield, good ball. Babbitt trying to run onto it. Bit of a push there from Chumber. Nothing doing. Babbitt once again going at her, but this time the Prostars defensive duo of Chumber and Vandeland get the better of the Pickering striker. I think a few of the fans taking exception to that slide tackle effort there by Babbitt at the end of that. Curtin. Noreen. Skips under the foot of Clark Jolie. Lee tries to volley it. McDonald heads it on. Second effort gets over her head. Ball pinballs off a Pickering player and out for a Prostars throw. Prostars starting to get a couple of reserves off the bench as well. Maybe looking at making some changes here. As it's tossed in and possession turned over, McDonald takes control. Pire gives it up. It's kicked away by Vieira. And then that one off of Noreen. Actually, check that. Noreen had it ricochet off of Sultana and Pickering when the throw-in. Playing it ahead for Babbitt. She tries to turn past Chumber. Those two have had a great one-on-one battle, and that time Babbitt wins it, getting her team a corner kick. So we'll see if Pickering can create quality from this set piece. As once again, Babbitt sets up for an outswinger. No short option present. Most of the action towards the far post. Strong cross coming in. Keeper caught in the no-go zone, kind of caught between the ball and the player, but ultimately danger goes away, and, well, it'll be adjudged to be another corner kick here. I think the Prostars defensive back's not too happy about that, as Vieira and Tirabassi were both in the vicinity and they thought they had one possession. But it'll be Holly Babbitt tracking over to the far corner to take another kick here, and this time setting up for an in-swinger. So we'll see if we get some near post action as Babbitt delivers the cross, goes towards the far post, volleyed back in front, and cleared away from the area, and ultimately Prostars unable to retain possession from the clearance. Noreen had it for Pickering. It was knocked away from her and now controlled by Chirone. Noreen gets past the first challenge from Sultana. Room to carry it. Tries to make the pass. Chumber with the first block. Noreen lays it off to Pire. She wants the shot. Her attempt gets blocked. There's a long-range effort, and that one will go high and wide as Lee let it fly, and it goes for the goal kick. 72nd minute of action. We're deadlocked 1-1 here in this League One Ontario Women's Premier Division match between Prostars FC and Pickering FC. A couple of reserves off the bench now for Prostars, starting to get loose and warm up, as Dickinson delivers the goal kick, headed back by Pickering's McDonald. Lawrence touches back to Curtin. Curtin lays it off for Pires. She looks for an option, decides to go wide as it's controlled by Roach. Roach being dropped back into a left-back defensive position as a result of those halftime substitutions. She was a threatening winger through the midfield in the first half, as that time Babbitt gets caught in the offside trap, and it'll put an end to any counterattack possibilities for Pickering. Tirabassi, who's got the equalizer for Prostars, takes the free kick and finds Clark Jolie. Clark Jolie stepping over it, pulls it back, trying to work the near or far touchline as it's off of a teammate in Arsenault and controlled now by Pickering. Roach playing it up the line. Quickly it's knocked back towards the Pickering penalty area as Arsenault tried to body that one down. Clark Jolie avoids a clash, and it's off of Chirone and out for a Prostars throw-in. From the throw, they try hold possession, once again knocked out, and a subsequent throw to come. Pickering trying to hold possession from the throw. Ball ricocheting around. Now Chirone steps up to take it. Delivers it ahead for Babbitt, although her first touch heavy, and it's turned over with Vanderland taking it for Prostars. And she's taking this one right up. Vanderland tried to make the pass over to Rugole. Vanderland with a partial clearance block. Ball pinballs over to Lewis, and then McDonald able to clear the danger. As Clark Jolie able to win the ball through midfield, but she's got Lawrence all over her, and Lawrence does well to win it back for Pickering. She tries to turn and burn, stepping over it. She makes the short pass over to McDonald, who now touches it ahead for Curtin. Back over to McDonald. This could be threatening as Babbitt takes possession. Lawrence running in. Oh, just out of her range. She did well to stay onside, but the cross intended for Brittany Lawrence just away from her darting left leg as she tried to almost slide tackle that ball midair to get contact on it. Pickering playing it back in with the cross. McDonald running towards it. She volleys it forward. Off her line comes Dickinson, and she kind of had to palm it first into the air before she could get clean possession with Babbitt crashing down on her. Storms plays it ahead for McDonald. Babbitt has to get back on side. Lawrence making the run, but Clark Jolie with a great heads-up defensive drop to intercept that pass. And now Prostars playing a good ball to run onto as it's picked up here by Rugole. She's got room to take this in. Oh, just too much touch at the end of that. The ball bouncing up on her just a little bit. And Rugole unable to keep the weight off of it with Paraskevopoulos coming off her line. And ultimately out for a goal kick. End-to-end action here in the last few moments, as both teams desperately trying to get that go-ahead goal. 76th minute of action as we're coming to you from Victoria Park Stadium in Brampton, home of Prostars FC and their Women's Premier Division team in League One Ontario. As they play host tonight to Pickering FC, both of these squads having a challenging start to the season, as both now playing over 10 matches. Prostars playing one more than Pickering, as it's picked up now by Babbitt, and she's got room to carry this one forward. A little bit of a heavy touch that time. Vanderland did well to save a corner and knock it out for the throw. So Babbitt gets set to take the throw in here for Pickering. Plays to McDonald, who goes back to Babbitt. Heads up play that time by Pickering as the cross comes in, but it's off the top of the goal and out for a goal kick. Well, it's a heads up play by McDonald to go down to the goal line to receive the throw in, so that when she played it back to Babbitt, Babbitt was in an onside position. Ultimately, though, nothing more would come, as the goal kick now taken by the left foot of Dickinson. And a battle through the midfield for possession as Arsenault trying to track it down for Prostars, but it's quickly hammered back up the pitch, and now Lawrence trying to track that one and keep it in. She does so. Her cross in front, and a couple of players getting tied up there at the near post in Babbitt and Chumber. They continue to go at it. But confident goalkeeping by Kyra Dickinson, as it's knocked out for a Prostars throw-in at the half line. And we'll get a couple of substitutions here now for Prostars. So Sultana will come out of the match, and she'll be replaced by Kujunidzic. It looks like Arsenal, the other player taken out here. As I didn't quite catch the player coming in for Arsenal, but I'll update you if we get an announcement on it.
Prostars FC.
Here we go.
Substitution in the 78th minute.
Clark Jolie turning, taking it ahead.
Anna Kay.
Tries the long-range shot, but that one easily saved.
18, Celine Sultana. And number 39, Madison W. enters the match. Exiting the match, number 27, Annika A.
So Wetham comes in place of... Oh, I think the PA announcer got those mixed up because he said the player that Wetham came in for was the other player who just came into the match, and Kujunidzic, so I don't think that adds up, but regardless, we continue on here, and the teams continue to duke this out in a 1-1 draw right now. As Pickering try work it goal bound, but they turn possession over, and now a chance for Prostars to potentially build a counterattack here. As working up the far flank, playing it forward, Rugole can't run onto it. It was initially intended there for Wetham. She almost overran it. Now she tries to track it down, but Nareen there defensively, and now Pire takes it for Pickering. 80th minute of action. Will either team get the breakthrough? Let's find out as Rugole tries to win that one. It's off the Prostars forward and out for a Pickering throw. And we're going to get a Pickering substitution coming here. As Lee, who was substituted into this match earlier, is now taken out in favor of Colacott. Pickering playing that ball across the half. Babbitt trying to shield it in terms of getting some support. She's got Lawrence making the run and the pass intercepted by Tirabassi. Into the middle, Clark Jolie trying to work it across half.
Enters the match. Exiting the match is number 9.
That one touched over to Moore. Chumber makes the pass over to Kujunidzic as she tries to fight off the challenge. Noreen pokes it away. And then stepping up was Vanderland, but that's knocked down by the volley of Storms. Oh, Babbitt gets clipped from behind. That's going to be a free kick and maybe more, as the referee wants to have a word and the training staff will come have a look at Babbitt. And the yellow card in hand, we're going to have our first caution of the match here in the 82nd minute. And it goes to Prostars FC. She's had an impact in this match, Emily Tirabassi. She's got the equalizing goal. And she goes into the referee's notebook for a second time today, this time for the caution.
Yellow card issued to Prostars, number 21, Emily Tirabassi, in the 82nd minute.
Pickering all heading over to their bench to get a bit of a impromptu water break here. Now Prostars doing the same. As Babbitt receiving treatment after that tough tackle. Hopefully she's all right. Again, she's had herself quite a match here. Supplying the assist on the goal for Pickering from the corner kick. She's the one who crossed the corner in, which found the head of McDonald and then the back of the net. Babbitt was the player in the first half who was hauled down to draw the penalty kick. That was subsequently stopped. And Babbitt's just been a threat all match long, and it's good to see her be able to continue here. Although she does seem to be trying to walk it off a little bit. Certainly a bit of a tender step that she's got as she just tries to stretch it out and work this stinger off. Free kick here for Pickering. A two-player wall setting up defensively. Quite a range out, but the ball played into the penalty area. Drops towards McDonald, but Dickinson off her line and collects it cleanly. Chumber quickly streaking up the near touchline, trying to work a counterattack. Good ball played ahead as running onto it is Wetham. She gets challenged by Noreen, and that's out for a Prostars throw. 84th minute of play. The match winding down. Both of these teams continuing to battle hard as they look for the breakthrough as we're deadlocked 1-1. Rugole going to ground, but nothing doing. Ooh, Tirabassi nearly got handcuffed on that odd ball. And here's a good run by Lawrence. Dickinson coming off her line. Dickinson gets there in the nick of time. What brave goalkeeping there, as there was no room for hesitation, and Kyra Dickinson maybe saving the match there for Prostars, because you have to think if Brittany Lawrence gets to that ball and she's going in all alone from the top of the 18, that's ending up in the back of the net. But Dickinson clears the danger, and now we get a substitution for Pickering with Babbitt coming out of the match, maybe somewhat predictably after taking that knock. And she'll be replaced by Shida, Sophia Shida, number 20. Pickering, try hold possession. McDonald coming up with it. Looking for an option, has the runner. Good pass. Controlled along the goal line, trying to touch in front for Shida. She plays it back for McDonald. Touched over. Pickering threatening. Roach plays it towards the far post, but no one there running onto it, and that's out for a goal kick. Dickinson plays the goal kick short to Tirabassi. As her ball evades a couple of defensive challenges, and now Rigole plays one forward, as that'll track towards the corner flag and out for a Pickering throw-in. Roach. Tirabassi, check that. That was Vieira that time. As nice job by Pire to escape the challenge. And now Lawrence taking a bit of a whack on the back of her legs, but she has possession. Knocked down to the ground, and she wins a free kick that time for Pickering. So Brittany Lawrence continues to make quality plays and continues to win possession for her team. And now they'll send the troops forwards for the reception on this free kick. Prostars try hold the defensive line. The ball comes in. Initially knocked away by Tirabassi. It's off a Pickering player and out for a Prostars throw-in. 87th minute of play now upon us as time ticking away, and I made the comment earlier in the match, a bit of a chess match here today, and ultimately it looks like we could be heading for a stalemate, but let's find out. As Pickering playing a good ball forward, nice defensive effort that time by, I believe it was Vanderland coming up with it, and now it's Clark Jolie who turns, tries to feed it forward, but that's picked off by Curtin. Curtin, she's got a player making the run. Curtin takes it forward. Left-footed service. That's blocked by Tirabassi. Shida tries to get possession, but Tirabassi comes away with it. Nice job by Tirabassi as she evades the challenge, plays the ball forward, and I don't think Lewis is going to be able to catch that one, as that's out for a Pickering throw. From the throw-in, turning with it is Colacott. Makes the play ahead for Lawrence, but it's quickly stripped off her foot. Possession exchanged as McDonald comes away with it for Pickering. Pire, she's got room to turn and carry. Takes it forward and now lays it over to Storms. Back over to Pire. As McDonald plays it forward, but no one there to make the run, and Dickinson will track it and control it for Prostars. The keeper plays it out to Vanderland. Chumber. Kajunzic. Nice 1-2 as Kajunzic gets it back, but Nareen tracking back and strips it off her feet. Kajunzic, with a hard tackle there. She's got to be careful. That was borderline caution material. But having just entered this match not long ago, maybe getting the benefit of the doubt.
Nice pass, 24.
And she'll escape with nothing more than a stern warning. Pickering free kick. Trying to flick it on was Curtin. It ricochets back onto their defensive side of half, where Kazunjic gives it away through the middle. Ball pin balls back towards Prostar possession, but Pickering able to actually hold it here with Colacott playing it out wide to Roach. Roach evades the tackle attempt from Lewis. She works that far flank, plays it forward where Tirabassi comes up with the interception. She then plays the long ball that's headed straight up, and a 50-50 ensues with Regola nearly coming away with it, and then she clips Shida, and that'll be a free kick for Pickering at the half line. The ball was moving, so they're going to have to retake that. As we're into the 90th minute of action, and we await to see how much added time we'll get here from the fourth official. You'd certainly expect at least 2 minutes, given the couple of knocks and injuries we had here in the second half, most notably to Babbitt. As a battle for possession through the midfield ensues, and Rigole comes away with it for Prostars. She plays that one out wide for Lewis to run onto. Lewis, right-footed attempt, crossing it in, and safe hands after an initial bobble as Paraskevopoulos
3 minutes of
did well to pick off that cross that was looking destined for the foot of Dana Rigole. But that may have been the most crucial save of the match for the Pickering keeper, Nicole Paraskevopoulos. As Prostars were looking for the go-ahead goal in the 90th plus minute, as a minimum of 3 added minutes will be played here. As Pickering looking to make a push to break through. McDonald, her pass picked off. Curtin trying to control the bouncing ball, has to go back to Chirone, who ends up giving it away, but Prostars unable to secure possession. Now they do, as Wedham, Cumber, Clark Jolie tried to get it back to Wedham, but now it finds its way to Tirabassi. She's looking up the far flank for an option, delivers a ball right to the foot of a winger, who in turn tries to pick out Clark Jolie. It was Lewis on the reception, but it's knocked out for a Prostars throw, as they prepare to take this right in front of their own bench. Lots of great coaches on both of these staffs. Lots of experience. Lots of soccer knowledge there, that's for sure. Lots of passion as Lawrence trying to run onto it, and she'll track the loose ball for Pickering, but she's one player against 3 defenders. Lawrence trying to take them all on. Gets around the first challenge from Tirabassi, and Lawrence does well to shield the ball and earn herself some support in the form of Shida. Shida tries to cross it in, nothing doing yet. Kolakut can't get it loose, as Pire, she gets hauled down from behind by Rugole, and that'll be a free kick for Pickering from a dangerous area, as this will be maybe about 26 plus yards out. But certainly close enough that an attempt on target, not out of the question in the least here. Might be a little bit further than I thought. Maybe a little closer to 28, as the 3-player defensive wall pretty much lined up on the top of the 18. There's the shot attempt right on target and right into the safe hands of Kyra Dickinson. Easy work for an experienced keeper like her. She makes the save and then quickly boots it out across half. Roach volleys it back forward, but it'll go out for a Prostars throw-in. As we're into the 93rd minute, and with just 3 minutes of added time to be played, we'll see how much more this match gets extended. Shida tries to play into the middle. They switch over to the near side. McDonald trying to turn and open up some space. She's got to play it back to Noreen. Taking the space in front of her, Noreen. Good run here by the right back for Pickering. Challenged by Chumber, and it's out for a Prostars throw. Great play by Chumber to knock that one off of McDonald. Check that, Noreen. Referee blows her whistle, and that's a tightly contested affair, and in the end, it ends a 1-1 scoreline. Folks, thanks for tuning in to tonight's League One Match of the Week broadcast. As the final score in this game between Prostars FC and Pickering FC, 1-1 here in the League One Ontario Women's Premier Division. Folks, we'll see you next time. Have yourselves a great